Hello everyone and welcome to our first ever video review, and that is for Dune Part 2. Thank God we waited for video reviews for this one because oh my goodness, this movie was incredible. I'm James, that's Nan, and we're coming to you from Australia and New Zealand. Now, sadly, me and Nan, we always used to go to these screenings together, and now I've moved away, and so we can't. So we have to do them separately. But Nan got to see it on Monday early in the week, and I saw it on Tuesday. We actually, funnily enough, this is our first time recording this review because we messed up the first one. We're still learning, but we're getting there, and hopefully this is the one that actually goes up to you guys. So hopefully you guys are viewing it and can enjoy our thoughts on it. So Nan, we'll just get right into it. You had this as your second most anticipated movie for the year. I had it as my most anticipated, but last year
you had to bring it up.
I had to bring it up. You did not have it at all, but I'm sure you're glad that you put it in now. What did you think of Dune Part 2?
I'll clarify James's comment. I did have it, but on honourable mentions. So it was there in like 11th, 12th place, but yes, and yes, I am very thankful. This is probably the only good thing that came out of the writers and actors strikes, is that it gave me a second chance to redeem myself. And I'm glad I did, because this movie is, I'd say it is this year's Oppenheimer. You know how Oppenheimer of 2023 blew everyone away? I think this is its version. We just didn't have to wait till July for it. It was absolutely fantastic, and not just in one aspect of it either. Like just every aspect, you know, the technical front, visual front, sound front, acting front, just story front, you know, everything just clicked, and it's very rare nowadays, especially where everything clicks in a movie. So it's really awesome to see that. I'm just trying to think where I should start from.
Well, I mean, at the end of Dune 1, I think me and you both had the criticism that it was just, it ended when things started to really ramp up. So do you think Dune 2 delivered upon the promise that Dune 1 gave us?
Oh, 100%. And if not more, like, both films had similar runtimes. I think it was around about that 240 mark. Yeah,
long movies,
But this one felt like two films in one. But you were never, like, drained or bogged or bored. It is slow to start off with, and I think that is one of the big criticisms, but the payoff is absolutely worth it. The slowness of it is Paul Atreides, which is Timothee Chalamet's character, learning the way of, I always forget their name, the Sand People's name.
The Fremen.
The Fremen, always. Damn it, one day I'll remember them. The Fremen's ways, you know, learning their culture, because he's been prophesized as their sort of god, so learning what that's about and everything. And then eventually he gets to that stage. And pretty much I'd say this film is split into 2 acts and a half and then 1 act. So the first two and a half acts is pretty much that building phase, but it's never that slow. Like, it just keeps building. I mean, there's a scene where with a sandworm, and that was intense as you could just feel the pressure, because you could see the faces of everyone, how they were just like nervous and tense. You could just feel the intensity in that, and that was a good part of it. But when Paul actually ascends into this godlike prophesized figure, that's when everything from the first film and the first 2 acts and a bit from this film, it just clicks, and that's where the film really strides, you know. I mean, you get an awesome ass fight scene between Timothée Chalamet's character and Austin Butler's character. Austin Butler, by the way, is just, I would have to say, he is the actor to watch right now. Like, everything he touches has just been amazing. He was in Elvis last year before.
Year before.
And now he's in this, and he gave us 2 different sort of acting performances, but this one I would say that is his best. You know, he's unhinged. It almost feels like as if he was just, here's this character, go be as psycho as you can, and he does that. It's fantastically. Timothée Chalamet's character was also good. The only thing I didn't like about his performance was when he was yelling and screaming, only because most of the stuff I've watched from him, he's been that sort of soft-natured sort of guy. So it was just hard for me to see him as that sort of intimidating, sort of screamy sort of character. But that's me personally. I think other people will probably have a view, and if you do have a view, I'm sure you'll comment. no doubt on that. Javier Bardem, I thought he was hilarious, and not like forced funny. Like, it was just genuinely funny. Like, his little quips and his little comments he made at the start between him and the Fremen was just absolutely hilarious. And then it just out of nowhere, just sort of his character sort of like switched, like changed tune. Like we started seeing less of that funny side of him, more of a serious worshipper sort of side. So I think he did a really good job in that. Zendaya was fantastic as well. The chemistry between Zendaya and Timothee Chalamet was fantastic. Like, you could actually feel the love and affection between those two characters on screen, considering we only saw them pretty much in this film. The best thing about this film, in my opinion, is the technical side. The visuals and cinematography it's just jaw-dropping, you know. There's a scene at the end with a fight, and it's like taking a step back and you're seeing it this way, and the two fighters are there, and the backdrop is just like a wonderful sunset sort of thing. That was jaw-dropping. There's another scene where there's a massive ship coming across the city, and because the ship is all chrome, you get to see the reflection of the city come across as the ship moves. Like, me and Kyan, who I saw the film with, watched that film, and when we left the film, that was the first thing we said to each other was, holy shit, that scene was fantastic. It wasn't the best scene in it, but just the way it captured the reflection while moving was amazing. The sound as well, holy shit. Like, I think this is another sound Oscar and possibly score Oscar. I do feel it's a pretty weak year this year, but that's a conversation for another day. But Hans Zimmer struck gold, you know. Like, he kept whatever worked in the first Dune film and just improved on it in this film, you know. And the sound design of the worms and everything, the way they clicked, the thumpers and the way they thumped was awesome. So nothing but praise for me for this film.
Yeah, I'm very much on board with everything you're saying there, pretty much. I love this movie way more than I thought I would, and it was my most anticipated. This movie, it's too early for me to declare it as a masterpiece just yet. I need to see how it kind of ages with me, but I'm pretty sure it's heading in the direction where I would consider it one of my masterpieces, for my personal preference. But yeah, no, so good. And what really struck me as the most surprising elements is the story, because, you know, you go into Denis Villeneuve with Greg Fraser as the cinematographer, with Hans Zimmer at the helm composing the film. You know you're going to get something that sounds and looks beautiful, but story is one where I wondered, because, you know, adapting Frank Herbert's Dune is said to be damn near impossible for the medium of film, but I think they've done it a good way here, and they've done it in a way that's digestible, in a way that you can really sink into the world and just kind of, you know, learn it and, you know, kind of feel it as well. So yeah, amazing job with that stuff. What I really love is, you know, how they've added a lot of, you know, layers to the narrative. You know, you're seeing all this, like, these layers just go onto the narrative, whether it's, you know, these religious elements, the faith, politics, culture. You're just seeing so much into everything, and then the way it builds up all these complexities through those elements, and it, you know, injects it into its characters. It all just unweaves in a beautiful way, in a really, you know, epic and grand scale, and you get some really, you know, jaw-dropping moments, not just the way it looks, but the way it actually, you know, unravels narratively. So that was something that I really loved. Yeah, and, you know, you come to the cast, and this is one of the greatest ensembles for a big budget blockbuster that I think we've ever seen. And then, you know, you go to the young people in this movie: Austin Butler, Florence Pugh, Zendaya, and Timothee Chalamet. They may just be, you know, some of the, you know, faces of Hollywood in the future, because those four have very promising careers and they're all super talented. You know, Florence Pugh, sadly, she didn't have too much to do in this movie. I would like to have seen more of her. and Zendaya as well. I would like to see more of her, but you're absolutely right. Her chemistry with Timothée Chalamet was surprising. They had really good chemistry together, and I really brought that relationship and how it developed. I completely brought into that. Austin Butler, yeah, completely unhinged. He's cutthroat, he's ruthless, and it's just an absolute joy to watch. He is just so much fun in this. I wouldn't say it's better than Elvis, just because Elvis is a lot more complex, but this just shows me that Austin Butler can do great things in, these kind of action blockbusters, especially in a villainous role. I'd love to see more of it. And then we go to Timothée Chalamet, and Timothée Chalamet is great. He continues to just be one of the most versatile actors. He feels like an absolute veteran, very seasoned actor, and he's only 28, 27, something like that. He is just, he's just so well-rounded as an actor, and has the acting chops to just jump into any role and absolutely nail it. One thing that I could never have seen him in is in, an action blockbuster hero. As you said, he's just kind of been in roles where he's just a little bit soft, so it's tough to buy into that. But I brought him into this one, and I don't know how he does it, but he just has such a commanding presence on screen, whatever kind of role he's in. And then, you go to the cinematography and the sound, and Nan's already said something. I can only say so much more, but you know exactly what we're going to talk about with this. You know it's going to be great. You don't need us to sit here and tell you that it looks beautiful and it sounds beautiful. But we're going to tell you anyway, because Greg Fraser is establishing himself as one of the best cinematographers in the business right now. In top five working today. If he's in something, I want to see it, because what he does here is just beautiful. He builds upon what he's done in Dune, and I would say it's even better when you look at the close-up shots, and then you got the wide landscape shots. Everything just merges together. It allows you to dive deeper into this world and just kind of really feel it on an atmospherical level, and it all becomes a cinematic experience. He obviously did the Batman as well, which is really well done. It's one of the best shot comic book movies of all time. I'll stand by that, and it should have been nominated for best cinematography. Different conversation, different day.
You had to bring it up.
Yeah, Nan's gonna get angry. I shouldn't have mentioned it. But yeah, and then Hans Zimmer. He's not the GOAT of composing film, but he's top 3 all time, and he just continues to deliver. It's what Nan said. He did what he did in Dune, but better, and he's starting to write stuff now for Dune 3, so that's really exciting. But my question for you, Nan, Dune 3, you're excited for that one?
Yes, I am. So from what I understood, is that the first 2 Dunes is based on Dune, the book.
One book, yeah, and then it goes into the next one.
Yeah, and then there's another book called Dune Messiah, and I was told by Kyan that it was pretty much written for the people that didn't understand Paul Atreides' story and his arc. So that book was made pretty much in a nice way. It was a dumbed down version for us normies, that book. So I think there's a lot of potential for a third film. There's a lot more to explore on this, and to fully see that vision of the Prophet, the Lazib Gahib, whatever. You know when you hear it, of Paul's character. There's a lot more to be explored. There's also apparently a war that's going on. So yeah, I think I would be bums in seat for that third. I think Denis Villeneuve has to. He absolutely has to direct this film. I can't see any other director, like not even an A-tier director like Scorsese or Nolan can come in and do it, because at the end of the day, Dune is Villeneuve's baby, and it's his vision, and he should see it to the end.
Yeah, I'm completely on board with that. He hasn't confirmed whether he's going to be doing it or not, but I mean, he has to be the one to do it. He has to complete this trilogy, because if he does it and it becomes just a whole trilogy, it's going to end up as one of the greatest, if not the greatest trilogy of all time. Don't know if it could compete with something like The Dark Knight or Lord of the Rings, but it would definitely be up there in those ranks of Denis Villeneuve as the one at the helm doing that. But yeah. All right. Scores, Nan. Out of 10. I remembered it for this one.
He did. It's funny because we recorded the previous one and he forgot it. So nice to see.
But we're doing it now.
Yeah. Before I get into my score, I do have to say, if you are going to watch Dune, watch in the biggest, loudest cinema you can. They said it for Oppenheimer. I'm saying it for this. IMAX preferably, because you just appreciate the visuals and the sound so much more better. So that's my plug for you, IMAX. I'll take a cut. Thank you. My score for this one would be... I'm going to go a 9.3 out of 10.
9.3? Oof.
9.3.
That's big. I'm going to go a 9.2. Like, anything I give over a 9 is just... Oh, they're so good, and they're rare for me, but this one absolutely deserves it.
100%.
100%, yeah. So that is our first video review for Dune Part 2. It does come out today for you Americans, and it came out yesterday for the Aussies and the Kiwis. If you're seeing Dune, jump down to the comments, tell us what you thought about it. We can have a conversation there. Otherwise, you know what to do. Head to our socials. We can have a chat over there as well. I hope you guys do go see it. It is worth seeing it wherever you can, at the biggest screen, wherever you can get to. Trust us on that one. Otherwise, you guys know what to do. Just follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, hit the like button, all that stuff. Otherwise, we'll catch you next time. Keep bringing the peace. See ya.
See ya later.